Today's training tip is about lunging your horse and how important it is to lunge your horse and make sure your horse is nice and relaxed at a canter and can speed up to a fast canter at a minimum and then slow back down to a trot, slow down to a walk, speed back up. So have upward and downward transitions and be nice and relaxed when she does that. Behind me, this horse is Sonora, and she came to me for some just a little bit of training for a month after I trained her a couple years back. And then she's been off for quite a while. She's nice and fat and sassy. And I started lunging her around today. This is her second day. I worked without the saddle yesterday. And today I started lunging her around, and she seemed to be doing just fine at a walk, trot, canter. But as I sped her up in the canter, as I sped up that gait, she started to crow hop and started to buck a little bit. So I just pushed her harder, pushed her faster, and real quickly she came out of that, and then I released my pressure and just let her have a nice easy canter. But if your horse has been off, especially if your horse has been off for a while, it's really important that you get your horse moving their feet both left and right, forwards, backwards, left and right, and make sure that they're responsive and not reactive to your cues before you get on. You never know where a horse might be mentally until you start working with them physically. So in my opinion, I think it's really important to learn how to lunge your horse. So I'm going to lunge her real quick. Now I don't have my stick and string in one hand, so we'll see if I can get her to pick up a canter here without the stick and string. I think I can, but she can walk, trot, and point and canter. Now she cross-fired right there. Now she picked up the correct lead. I want to make sure that she's nice and relaxed, that she's bent to the inside of the circle, that she's loping on a nice relaxed lead rope. And she needs a little bit of bumping. She needs to work on that bend in her circle. But as I sped her up to about there, she started to buck. And all I did was push her faster, put a little more pressure on her, and then release the pressure when she started to relax. Oh, good girl. It's very important, in my opinion, that you learn to lunge. There's a lot of trainers out there that say you should never lunge a horse. And in my opinion, you should never lunge a horse improperly, but when you learn to lunge a horse correctly, you can really help understand whether your horse is ready to ride or not. And some horses that I have for a long time and that have been in training for a long time, or I've been riding up at the ranch for a long time, I won't lunge them every day. In fact, I'll almost never lunge them. But if they've been off for a while, or if a horse has been in training and just recently in training, I want them to be good at lunging. That's one of the first things that I teach a horse, is how to lunge at a walk, trot, and eventually a canter and a fast canter, so that I know where their mind is. Their body is always going to tell you where their mind's at, and that's a great way to check them out. You're not lunging them to exhaust them, but early on, sometimes you can lunge them, get the wiggles out, get their energy down a little bit before you go out on the trail, and that's going to be very helpful. Most people will say, like the people that say don't lunge your horse are the same people that will say make sure to lope your horse under saddle. Well, to me it's the same thing. I mean, I want to make sure they lunge at a lope on the ground before I ride them at a lope in the saddle. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.